What's going on, guys? Jimmy here at J Kaiser Custom MX. Of all the videos I've done, I've probably talked about this Yamaha the least, and it's maybe my most popular bike. So let's take a look around it. I'll tell you how it came about to be the Deegan number 38 Danger Smoke bike that he rode in the video with his son Hayden, and a little close-up and what I've done and what we did for the video. So let's take a look. Alright, so basically we have a 1990 YZ250 converted into the Brian Deegan Danger Smoke YZ250 that you guys saw in the video. So I've had this bike a while, and I have used to have it kind of dressed up as a Bradshaw, maybe not a replica, but a tribute retired race bike. So I actually took it over to the Star Yamaha tent for some photos in April at the Supercross in Nashville, and I met Brian then. All right, so Brian and I got to talking. He was telling me a little bit about the video. We got talking about the bike. Had to kind of be cool to convert it over, and we kept in touch, and that was it. So as it was and as it is now, slightly different. So after Supercross, I came home. I texted Brian and said, "Hey, we're still on for this," and he said, "Absolutely." So here's what I ended up doing. Let me show you around this thing. So basically, I ended up stripping the bike down as it was because the frame was in need of some new paint or powder coat. So I decided to go ahead and powder coat the frame and have it ready. What I did not do is do really anything to the motor, as it were. So I ride this bike a little bit, but not that much, and the motor was still relatively good, so we left it as is. I also have been using a new color coating on my swing arms, and I wanted to try it out on this YZ250 for the first time, and I absolutely love it. It is a powder coat, and the name of it is called Silver Explosion, I believe. And I also went ahead and sent the factory stock foot pegs over and had them coated the same way. Of course, Decal Works was on board with helping me out with this bike, so they kept the secret pretty good. We used the sponsors that are currently Star Yamaha's sponsors, and other than Decal Works, but they took care of the decals and put together a fairly basic but perfect decal kit for the 1990 Yamaha YZ250. The radiator shroud graphics is one big graphic, so I kind of like the way that turned out, and then we added the monster logo at the bottom. If you know Brian, you know that the American flag's got to be on this thing somewhere, so we incorporated it in with the front and side number plates because it just seemed like the right thing to do. It seemed fitting for the monster logo to be front and center on the front fender, and of course Deegan just on both sides of the front fender. Forks in this era were actually red anodized, and after 30 years they tend to turn pink. These have, and I've left them the way they are. On the fork guards, by the way, fork guards are impossible to find for this bike anymore. Went ahead and used the graphic exactly like what's on the Star Yamahas and what's on Hayden's bike. And yes, the pipe got a little dinged up. It was a factory Yamaha YZ250 pipe. So in the crash in the video, we got a little ding and some baked on mud from the track there, so it's just going to have to be a battle wound. And here's another. By the way, Brian rode this thing nearly all day. For the tires, Brian wanted to use Dunlop MX33s, which turned out to be a great tire for that terrain. We've got the 33s on the front and the back. And for the grips, I went ahead and used the Pro Taper White half waffle grip which is pretty much what Hayden uses, so I wanted to kind of match his bike a little bit there. These monocross decals are not a decal on the 1990, but the idea there was that I wanted to use something that looked of that era, so I wanted to incorporate those onto the swing arm, and I just thought it was kind of a nice touch, so that's what I ended up doing. As far as brakes, I've got Galfer brake lines and brake pads on both the front and the rear of this bike. If you've got a two-stroke and you don't have Boyson reeds, I'm not sure what you're doing. That's a joke. But I have used Boyson hard parts and reeds in my two-stroke bikes forever, and that's what's on this bike. I've got stock radiators on this bike, and basically they were slightly tweaked. And when I tore the bike down before the video, I went ahead and straightened these out. It's kind of easy to do if they're not in too bad of shape and they're still bolted on the bike and nothing else is on there. You can use a rubber mallet and pretty much get them back to where you want. As far as everything else, I wanted the bike to look relatively stock, and that's exactly the look I achieved. I needed it to be a stock bike to look used or ridden, maybe not used is the right word, but ridden, but still look new and fresh. And so that was the idea, along with using the Star Yamaha sponsors, or Hayden's sponsors in particular. And you know, it came out really great. It's a great looking bike, runs great. It's a good bike all around. So there you have it. That's the walk around, guys.